we're getting near the end of just wrapping up this area where we're talking about perspective, and we're just giving you shedding some light on these 4 categories, and we're going to do some more. We're going to do some more perspective, and then we're going to get more specific. But here, something that's really important. Again, this goes back to not only are we looking for newer companies, but in most cases, we're looking for brand new categories, brand new industries. And this is why it's sometimes hard to pull the trigger in some of these areas and buy some of these companies in the most opportune time, because you've never seen this before. It's a whole new area. It's this cutting edge area that you might not understand. Again, when I was buying Yahoo and some of these, and even Amazon, these internet names, if you will, at the time, the internet, if you go back, there's a video, I think it's on YouTube still, of me being interviewed by Ron Insana in 98 or 99. Now, the internet has been around for a little while since then, and he was asking me if I thought the internet would survive. Like in 1999, 2000, people were still wondering if the internet itself was going to make it. So, these companies that were in that area, it was a scary thing, because it was an entire new category, new industry. When you look at, you go back, mainframe computing. This is a crude timeline. It may not be perfect. So some of you, if you're real sticklers as far as dates and history, this may not be a perfect timeline, but it's just an example. I want to show you how industries spawn off new industries, and this is happening right to this day. And I just want to show you how everything sort of is connected, and how you want to look for that next area and not look backwards, look forward. Go back to the 70s, 80s, mainframe computing. What you have now on an Apple Watch took up a whole entire room. It was floors full of computers to do what a little laptop can do today. That led to where we had computer networking, where you networked local area networks, you strung the computers together. Eventually, we needed software. For those of you who are old enough and remember when we first came out with MS-DOS, and we had this is why Windows was so amazing, is that before Windows, you would just have a little green light flashing, and there was really nothing much to do with the computer, because there was no software and no operating system. And then when Windows came out and created the operating system, and then software started coming out, that's when we got empowered with the computer. Then routers, data storage, started having to manage the data. We got all this data. Personal computers exploded in the 1990s. That led to a proliferation of computer peripherals, more software. Then we started tying the computers together online, right? The internet, you started to, those of you, of course, again, who are our age, Dave, you remember you hit the AOL, and it goes, it would dial the phone number, then beep, make all that noise, and take like 45 minutes to connect. It was very, very very archaic. So what happened then, we needed to start expanding the bandwidth, right? So then you had Broadcom, and you see underneath each of these categories that I'm talking about, there's companies that were emerging, and these were new companies and new concepts and had new products and services. Then internet, which actually Yahoo, Google is the internet search engine of that really dominates that. But Yahoo at the time was really the main search engine, and then later on they started diversifying, or what I call diversifying. They diversified, and Google moved in, top competitor, right? Google moved in and took over search, and pushed Yahoo out of there. Then once we started having everybody online, now we needed security. Right, we needed security. We needed to protect the computers, because people could break into each other's data. Now we put it on the cloud. Right, we put it on the cloud. There's social media, which of course this is all part of it right now. We got Zoom now. We could never do things like this. This is amazing. People from all around the world can watch and connect in real time. Social media just opened a whole new area of marketing and connecting and information flow. And now we're going into artificial intelligence and things like that, right? So to wrap this up, you're looking for totally new categories. And I like to tell this little story about going back to the cola, Coca-Cola, and when colas, basically they were all, colas were brown. You look at Coca-Cola, it's brown, right? Pepsi's brown. Well, at one time, 7-Up did not exist. Clear colas did not exist. So 7-Up, what they did was they did a genius thing, and this is almost like a metaphor for the point I'm trying to make. But 7-Up took the color, or didn't put the color in; they left it clear, and they called it the Uncola. It was the birth of a whole new beverage, basically the clear, and they made it lemon lime and things like that. But that is really that's a totally new category. But still you're still in the soda industry. And this is what happens over and over again. Disruptive, breakthrough technologies, Amazon with their technology, just disrupted everything, just across the board in the retail area. So you'll get what some call it the cousin effect or the spinoff. You'll get spinoffs, the spinoff effect. These are solutions that come out where you get just a better mousetrap, a better way of doing business. Netflix was a perfect example of a better way of doing business that Blockbuster was doing. It just was a better mousetrap. And again, things getting smaller: mainframe, desktop, laptop, tablet, smartphone. I don't know what's next. Maybe a little chip they put in your head. That's the next thing here. So this is really, giving you that big, broad perspective. We're going to come back. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back. This is just, there's some stuff on here too. There's some pages that are just for your own edification that we're not going to go over, but we went over every page in the workbook so far up to this point. This last page here is just going to contrast you of the what you're looking for and the things that you want to stay away from. Best candidates: growth, accelerating EPS, accelerating revenues, explosive market position, sustainable trends, business models that can be scaled. The worst areas are capital intensive. It takes a lot of money. They don't have much pricing power. There's a lot of competition. They can't really define themselves in the marketplace. Heavily regulated, very hard to operate in a regulated market. Lots of margin pressure. When you have lots of competition, the margins get squeezed. Only the consumer wins when you have lots of competition. And if you're eroding industry position where they're losing their position in the industry, those are the areas you want to stay away from. And the areas that you are the best areas are the growth candidates. So.
And Mark, I would also add, from the slide before plus this one, it's a lot of these companies are companies and areas that you as an individual have, probably have a lot of experience with, or you might be working in the industry, or you might be buying these new products, or or using these new services. And so you can find a lot of your great candidates from your own life of what you're buying, where you're eating, what services are coming into your home to take care of things. So it doesn't have to be so. You don't have to be some technological wizard to figure all these things out. A lot of these things are right in front of you and part of your own lives. And that's where you come up with some of the greatest growth stocks, are the ones that you're using yourself.
With the whole Netflix and Blockbuster situation, I saw it unfolding right in my backyard. All of a sudden, there was just the mom and pop video stores were going out of business. Netflix, had already come public, and they were doing business, but I didn't use Netflix yet. I was still going to stores and buying them. But there was this place I remember called Tommy K's, and they went out of business, and there was a bunch of them that were just starting to go out of business. And I saw that shift, and then I saw the stock charts, and that's where it really hit me, where this is a new way. And I didn't really believe in it. Even when after Blockbuster was wiped out, I didn't believe in Netflix. Matter of fact, even to this day, I don't really think Netflix is the greatest product. But again, it's not my place, to make that determination. It's the stock is setting up. It's got the right criteria. It's showing the leadership. I buy the stock. I let the stock make that decision for me. So we're going to show you how to do all this now. I'm going real fast here. This is a lot of information, and I know in the past we've had people say that this seminar, this workshop, is like drinking from a fire hose at times. At times I'm going to go really, really quick, and I'm going to sort of force all this information. There's other times we're going to go really slow, and we're going to really look at things and examine them very carefully. Again, right now we're just sort of setting the stage, and we're going to do that again for the next 2 sections are going to still be basically just perspective, and then we'll start getting more specific. So right now we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to get into the next topic.